Live from the Export Beer Garden studio and brought to you by Export Ultra, the beer for right here. This is the Agenda podcast for Thursday, the 30th of May.
The Agenda Podcast, the home of sporting nonsense and claptrap. Brought to you by Export Ultra.
Big day in New Zealand sport, but first I've got a question for you, Lane. What is worse than your social sports game being booked for 8:45 p.m?
It's not good. It's not good.
The only thing worse than that is, well, there's two things. One is it also being 20 minutes late. The other is you waiting that 20 minutes to find out that there was a scheduling clash, you actually don't have a game. So You're now sitting at the Pitt Street YMCA at 9 p.m. on a Wednesday.
In the pouring rain.
In the pissing rain, ready to play basketball, and there's no game.
I tell you what is worse, if you play ice hockey, Joe Jury, you have to wait for the public to finish their whatever they do. Dicking around. And
ruining your ice.
Ruining the ice. And he's had some starts of his game that have been like 10:30 at night.
Yeah, and these games are long, so they're not finishing till like 1, then they're showered. It's like 1:30, and they're in the parking lot. Big part of, probably the biggest part of ice hockey is having beers out of your boot.
Yeah.
After the
1
game.
in the morning in the car park out there in West Auckland.
Yeah. That's how you know they love it. And they fucking do too. They've got like a whole, their league, we should get someone on to explain it, but it's incredible. They have drafts, they have trades,
Yes.
There's a salary cap, there's all this different stuff, and it's just for this like social league.
But I also don't understand why the ice rink at 5 o'clock in the Arvo just go, hey, old fucking Spazzo over there with the get off the ice. Like, we're closing from 5. We've got like 10 dudes coming out here to play ice hockey. Instead, there's people leading people around. There's people with the walkers, the frame things,
Doing the rugby run out
yeah.
there.
So,
I know. I think they've just sort of arrived at, we won't be able to have afford an ice rink unless we let the public in here. The public all want to come after work, and so they're just like, fuck, bugger it. And God bless them for doing it. They print out banners, they hang them in the stand for their backyard hockey league that they have.
oh, I love it. And
I'm a player agent.
they have little hot water bottles. Are you?
Yeah. I
What commission are
negotiated.
you? What commission are you running?
Well, this is the thing. I negotiated the successful transfer of Ice Black Nick Henderson to the Moose, which is a backyard hockey league team here. And my commission was basically, I just got a jersey. But then last year, they rang me and were just like, we're short of uniforms. Can we have the jersey back? So I've lost everything. And I've even lost my client. I've fallen out of contact with him as well. Reach out, Hendo. I need to get back into the BHL. But anyway, I digress. That's the glories of social sport. But you have to, I think, you have to play some sort of sport. You know, because particularly as you get older, you just won't go to the gym. You just won't go for a run if you've got the opportunity not to.
And when you get older, you'll never see your mates again unless you organise a social occasion. And that's why I want to start the Phantom Cricket League.
Yes.
The PCL, which is basically a full competition. Like, think website, stats, teams, schedules, everything. But no one ever plays a game. You just go to the pub. And if your significant other ever asks questions, you can send it to the website and say, look, we played the poo holes last week. Look, we won by 7 wickets. What's your issue?
When you're having your like quarterly relationship catch up about, hey, what's coming up?
Yeah, I go, well, I've got the...
Here's the whole schedule.
Yeah, I got the PCL coming up. I got the Phantom Cricket League. Why is it called Phantom? Oh, it's sponsored by Phantom Billboards. Yeah, you see. And then it's a league doesn't exist. It's a 16-week competition in which every Wednesday night at 5:30, a 3-hour match is played.
Yeah.
At some fictitious ground, which your missus will never find out about.
No.
Because they won't know, Bloodworth Park or whatever.
Yeah. It's like, I don't have time to come home and then go back, so I'm just going to stay in at work and then I'll go there and then
I'll
come home.
see you about 9.
Yeah. Geez, you're getting pretty steamed at these cricket games. Yeah.
Well, you have a few beers.
A couple of beers afterwards.
Yeah.
A couple of beers in the outfield. Anyway, social sport, love it. Huge day in New Zealand sport. One of the biggest days in New Zealand sport for quite some time. But
for democracy.
For democracy. For very boring reasons. It is D-Day on the Auckland Stadium debacle, and the two options are...
3 options.
Key Street, Key Street, Eden Park, do nothing. If you were to place your bet, what do you think they're going to go with?
Paying $1 on do nothing. Yeah. I don't think they're even taking odds on do nothing.
They're unbackable.
I think Eden Park is on about $1.05.
Yeah.
And I think the Key Park one is at about
151,000.
Yeah.
Also, the New Zealand Rugby vote today, just before we walked in here, they voted on Proposal 1, which is do nothing,
Yep.
right?
Pretty much.
And that was a landslide, 69 votes. So how it works is, just before we walked in here, they're going to vote on proposal 2, but obviously there's only 20 dudes left to vote. So they are leaving rugby exactly the same as it is. And for all of the hype and hoopla after today, it seems that nothing will have happened. It's the flag referendum.
The only thing that would have happened, that could potentially happen, is that the players follow through on their threat.
And I think they'll have to, won't they?
They have to. They've played their card, and they can't now not play the card. So,
well, but not only that, the big Silver Lake money was supposed to, because the reason this is coming out now, I think, is because the financial report's going to come out down the track. They're going to say,
we've lost 40 million.
We've lost 40 fucking million. By the end of this decade, all of that Silver Lake money will be gone. And who has benefited from it? Fucking no one.
Dude Perfect did.
Oh, yeah, they did.
Yeah.
How did we miss that? Dude Perfect came over to do some dumb shit trick shot challenge. That's our bread and butter.
I know.
Dumb shit. You know what? We failed you, New Zealand. We should have been doing that.
Yeah, but they've got 40 million followers in the States.
Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, sweet. And then they'll all start watching and that'll save the game.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Fuck
you not get that?
Nah.
What's wrong with you?
I didn't get it, man. Oh, sweet. Rugby's saved. And for some reason, the third thing that was on the agenda for today, sporting-wise, is Auckland FC was set to name their first 4 signings for their brand new team that's kicking off. And I thought to myself this morning, if you wanted a bit of airtime, this is the shittest day to do it.
Oh, yeah, don't do it. Everyone's talking about... No one... Do you want to know what? I have a feeling the stadium chat, everyone's getting a bit crispy.
It's crispy, yeah.
And I think people are like, it's not going to happen because no one has got the balls to make a decision that will transform Auckland's downtown.
Yeah.
A transformational change, fundamental change for the good won't happen.
No.
But the NZR news will be the players will say, we're out.
Yeah.
And that is big news. That's
huge.
When the 350 professional players that are signed up to the association go, hey, guess what? Next year we're not playing.
That's potentially the death of the All Blacks.
Correct.
Is what we're dealing with here. And on that day, Auckland FC have decided to name their first 4 players, which was a massive signal that it is not going to be Lionel Messi that they are announcing. And it wasn't. It was 4 local players. I think 3 of them played for the All Whites, and another one of them played for the under-23 team. I don't know any of the names. But
the Auckland FC, the Auckland City have a pretty good team as it is.
Yep.
Probably a team that
that should have been in the A-League.
Yeah, I think that they've won the Oceania Champs numerous times and gone to the Club World Cup God knows how many times. So I think there's a well of players they can dip into.
Yep.
But
there won't be any big names coming in there, I don't think.
No.
I think they should sign like a Ronaldinho or something.
Like just an old battler.
Like so far gone that you're like, what the fuck? Like when Brian Lara come and played at the Black Clash.
I don't think you go that far.
Maybe they should sign...
He was a 55-year-old man.
Maybe they should sign Jonathan Thurston. I don't know.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
Just in goalkeeper. Imagine him and mic him up.
And he's just like, no. So anyway, that is the huge day in New Zealand sport, and I think as is traditional here in New Zealand, after all of this, nothing's going to happen.
No.
Nothing will come out of any of it.
Nothing good is going to happen.
Yeah, everyone will just sit on their hands as we careen off the edge of a cliff. So you'll know more about that probably tonight or tomorrow. Let's take a quick break. Then let's talk a little bit of Super Rugby. The Crusaders are playing tomorrow night. They're playing against Moana Pacifica. It's the first game of the last round of the regular season, and everything is on the line for the Crusaders.
They've got to win to even have a mathematical.
They need to win. They then need the Drua to lose, and they need the Force to lose. So a bonus point would help them. Basically, they need to hump Moana Pacifica. Mm-hmm. And in light of that, you would presume that they would name the strongest team that they possibly could. That has not been the case. Sevu Reece and Fletcher Newell will both be rested this week. Sevu Reece, if you can't remember, just overtook Caleb Ralph for the highest try scorer in Crusaders history.
He's hands down the best player on the park every time the Crusaders go out.
100%. And also Fletcher Newell, who's like one of their, he's in All Blacks contention. He will be an All Black this year, I would say.
Replaced by Tamaiti Williams, though. Not a bad replacement.
Joe Moody and Owen Franks in the front row stocks as well. It brings Ryan Crotty into second 5 now for this final game.
The early settler.
Initially, when I saw this, I was like, what the fuck? Why are you going to bench your 2 best players, season on the line? That's a bit of a slap in the face to a Crusaders fan. But now I'm kind of looking at it and I'm like, they're playing both sides of the field. For a lot of these dudes, this is going to be the last game. Joe Moody, he was interviewed. He hasn't been offered a contract for next year. If he doesn't come back to play for the Crusaders, sounds like he just wants to ride off into the sunset. Could be the same for Owen Franks. Definitely the same for Ryan Crotty. I don't think he thought he was going to play this season. I certainly didn't. So I kind of wonder if they've looked at it and gone, we're going to beat Moana Pacifica anyway, with the guys that we've got out here. Let's just give Owen Franks, Joe Moody, give these guys their chance to ride off into the sunset, one last game, so that because even if we win, we still may get knocked out. So let them have their swan song.
Yeah. Last
game, celebrate them. Maybe that's enough, emotion to get the win anyway. That's me looking out of my one eye.
Yeah, no, I don't mind that. I mean, I know
you could win and lose anyway. You know what I mean?
You threw out a potential All Blacks rotation line at me, but I don't buy that because the Crusaders potentially not going to make the finals and they've got 3 weeks off anyway. So
yeah,
to rest All Black players in a game in which you're not going to qualify doesn't make sense.
That was my first, because Rob Penny was asked that and he politicianed his way around that question, and I was like, I wonder if he's been told to rest them, because they have to rest them.
But why would you rest them and potentially they're not going to make the top 8 and they've got the next 3 weeks off anyway?
Yeah, that's right. That's why I thought was this a white flag. Then I thought, well, actually, they're still going to beat Moana even with this team.
Yep.
So I don't know. I think it's going to be an emotional game, and I've got your chance to go and watch that game. Max Ruff's insulated concrete slabs are warming homes around New Zealand, and as you know, bringing your coverage of Super Rugby on the ACC.
And the All Blacks this season.
And the All Blacks.
Yeah.
Look, if you have a concrete slab built home, like a tilt slab house, and you don't have Max Ruff insulated concrete slabs,
you're an idiot.
Fucking tear it down.
Yeah.
Tear it down. Put the right ones back in there, because these guys are giving you the chance to head to that game, Crusaders versus Moana Pacifica, tomorrow night, Apollo Project Stadium in Christchurch. So if you live in Christchurch, you can text HEAT to 3236 to be in to win a double pass to the Crusaders home match, or you can head on to social. I think there'll be an image out very shortly with your chance to win it. So go and check that out if you live in Christchurch. And shout out to Max Ruff. LPGA, I really wanted to talk to you about this. I don't know if you've seen this.
No, the headline's got me, though.
Brought to my... I just wrote LPGA Smoke Show. Charlie Hull. She is the number 8 ranked LPGA player in the world. She has taken to ripping darts on the course at the US Open just last week. You've got a photo
I
in
have
front
the photo,
of you.
and you know what I love the most about it, that, when people are ripping darts, people who are doing tasks and ripping darts out the side of their mouth.
Yeah.
That's what I love about her. She's signing her either her scorecard or fans. And she's got a durry. And what I love also is the fact that it's just about to ash itself.
So she's been doing it for a minute.
Yeah. And so the ash has just kind of got a pointy end. It's about to drop off. She's hanging out her mouth.
That'll be smoke all in her eyes. She's wearing a cap.
I love it.
I love it too, because imagine going, and look, I'm just going to say it, Charlie Hull, I said LPGA Smoke Show for a reason. If you're over there getting your thing signed by her, there's just going to be smoke pouring in your eyes. You're going to be standing in front of her crying.
I love it how it's because in this day and age, I'm not surprised that smoking's been banned from that, but you're outdoors. Why not? You're
outdoors, yeah. So I like it. Apparently she's been doing it on the course as well. I don't know. I think it's quite a funny, it's supposed to, is it nicotine that increases your concentration? Golf is entirely. Golf is entirely a concentration.
Well, how come we don't see people sucking on the douche flute? Sucking on the douchery-do, vapes, on the vapes.
Yeah, I don't know. On tour.
Yeah, or on the course.
Oh, on the course, I see it all the time.
I
do it myself.
Like PGA. No, I'm talking PGA.
No.
I mean, because remember, there was a few Spanish players who used to smoke cigars on the course and stuff like that.
I think golf has lost itself. Tiger Woods revolutionised the game by being someone who looked like he could actually play other sports as well.
Yeah.
And from there on out, everyone's like, I've got to be jacked.
Yeah.
You ever look at Rory McIlroy, he's shredded.
Yeah.
And so I think they're taking themselves a bit too seriously.
So no one's ripping any douche flutes.
No one's ripping cigs, no one's ripping douche flutes. And until someone wins a major.
While ripping a douche.
I don't think we'll see the change. But I think that's the wake up that the golf's going to need. Maybe Liv could introduce it. They would not be against a cigarette.
Well, I'm surprised Liv haven't had compulsory smoking. You have to rip a dart before you tee off on them.
Yeah.
The shotgun start, it's like a rip a dart start.
The rip a dart start. And you've just got Bryson DeChambeau, just one draw, ripping that thing into ash and then
flicks it off.
Crushing a bomb. She, back to Charlie Hull, she is also dating Gary from Geordie Shore. Do you remember Geordie Shore?
I know the name and I know what it's about, but I don't know the characters on it.
Well, his nickname was the Parsnip.
Oh.
Gary. He's gone on to. I think he's pivoted into just making golf content now. The Parsnip.
Oh, really?
And as part of that, he's shacked up with Charlie Hull.
Is that part of his golf content?
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, what better than having her out there just ripping darts? I mean, we're talking about it. I'm now going to have to go and check out his bloody YouTube thing, aren't I? Another one that you brought to our attention in the group chat this morning, a selection of revoked plates, personalised number plates have been published in the New Zealand Herald today.
You feel strongly about personalised plates?
Yeah, I do. Anytime I see them, I'm just like, oh, what do you, like, again, same thing that I've said a few times in this podcast. You had to go out, buy them, go through the ball ache of re-registering your car, then literally kneel on the cobbled stones of your driveway and screw this fucking number plate in. And at no point in that process do you think, oh, I'm a twat. And that's why every time I see them, I'm like even a bumper sticker I can't stand, but at least you just slap that on, you know?
Yeah.
So anyway, these are the ones that have been revoked this year. One of them is My Bitch, MIBITCH. Another variant of that, My Bitk, MIBITC.
No H, just same but no H.
Same with no H. There's another one that's just Moo, and it's MOO000.
What's wrong with that?
It's because the point of a license plate is that the cops can identify you, and if you're in a high speed pursuit and you're like, wait, is it
How many zeros? Oh, I see.
Is it a zero? Is it an O? Is it a zero?
Oh, because I was like, what's wrong? That got something against cows?
No, it's because it's confusing the cops.
Oh yeah.
Violate you was revoked.
You've got a number plate. Doesn't mean they're gonna violate you.
No,
Like, you know what I mean? Like that's like someone who is a convicted rapist who gets number plate rapist on the back of his car. Like, you know what I mean? Like, doesn't happen. It's not gonna happen. But it seems just, I don't know.
P-pipe is another one. Hate wife, H8 wife. FJCK, nutsack, and keep that one in mind because that'll come back later on. Mofo, spliff, jism, rail me.
Rail me.
Yeah, MMM, OOW, I don't know what they stand for. Karen is in there. Yep, they revoked Karen, I don't know why. Badass, but with fives for
badass.
S's.
Nothing wrong with badass.
No. Too fugly.
What's wrong with that?
Yep, this one here, MNMNM. Again, that's a cop confuser.
Yeah.
That's going to be a problem.
Yep.
Farmer.
What's farmer? PHARMA.
I don't know.
Like a drug dealer.
Are they in the pocket of
pharmaceutical?
Big Pharma. And then a bunch of other random collections.
The little people one's interesting.
Little PP, I think that is.
Little PP.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
Little PP or little people?
Well, LITLPP.
And the wanker one, that's a stretch. WHNKA.
Yeah.
Wanker.
Yeah. So how it works is New Zealand Transport has to receive 2 separate complaints, anonymous complaints, in 6 months to investigate the plates. So if they get one, it'll be on their radar, but it's not until they get 2 that they'll actually investigate it. Once they've got 2, they'll investigate, and then they'll conduct their thing as to whether they'll revoke it or not. Plates with 1 complaint that were allowed to stand include hate wife, which was in the one before, split, nutsack, and the moo, the cop confuser one. That was actually, they appealed it.
They're allowed to stay.
They were allowed to stay. Earlier this year, an Auckland man won his battle with NZTA to keep his personalised plates that spelled nutsacks, NUTSAX, because it was intended to raise testicular cancer awareness. Was that you?
The thing is, why is there even a complaints line?
Yeah. Like what?
Like,
also, what you're paying attention to the wrong. I hate them. I don't like them, but I don't want them to go away. It's an amusing hate to me.
Like, it take your time to complain about a number plate. Grow up, Jesus Christ.
But also, shout out to the guys that make those number plates because they're not screening themselves at all. They're like, yeah, fucking absolutely, you can have whatever you want. I still think to this day, Humiliator is still available.
Yep.
With some variation of L's and 8s that we could get. We should put that on our
Punisher. I think is almost available as well. I think. Yeah,
there'll be some spelling of Punisher. I don't know. There's just something about the guy who puts a personalised plate on.
Yeah.
I might start sending complaints in. One more break, and then we've got a bunch of yours, please. They just flooded the line last night, so we'll get through those in just a second.
You're Applause, please. Brought to you by Leader, home of the lasagna topper.
Bottom right corner of your iHeart player there, we've got the little microphone button. You hit that, you record a message, you send it to us. We play it out on the show just like this. Caller, yours please.
Yeah, g'day fellas. Just in regards to what your mayor should have to do to get the mayoralty of the town. The great veggie patch of New Zealand, Pukekohe, before we became a super city, had our own mayor. And being the home of potato and onions, I'm thinking maybe some sort of fry-up or a mashed potato off or some sort of onion off. Thanks, mate.
Nice. This was our discussion around, what should a mayor have to, maybe they should compete and do something to qualify to become mayor.
This is off the back of the mayor of Munich having to scull a stein to launch the Beer Fest over there.
Yeah. Look, I think a spud gun challenge would be good. When you get the spud guns together, powered by aerosol cans.
Yes.
Maybe that's for Pukekohe, obviously the Bombay Hills there.
Yeah.
Lush growing conditions for spuds and kumara.
I love it. Yeah, I mean, you can shoot an onion out of one of those things as well. You can shoot a bar of soap.
Yeah.
You can shoot just about anything you could fit in there. And I think that should definitely be part of it, but I think that the spud's such a versatile food that there should be other parts of it. I think the mashed potato is a great judge of a man. How well a man can mash his spud. Is it too creamy? Is it too solid?
Is it too lumpy?
Is it too lumpy? Because I pride myself on my mashed spud. It's probably one of my, I spend a lot of time in there.
Have you seen Snoop Dogg make mashed potatoes?
No, I haven't.
Oh.
Not good?
Like, he put a whole block of butter. He was with Martha Stewart.
Yeah, right.
And making mashed, and Martha Stewart goes, you need to put some butter in that, at least half that block. He's like, have that block? And he puts
the whole thing in.
And it's like, And he goes, that's my kind of mash. Like a whole, and it's a big pot of.
That's
America.
Still too much. That is America. I like to go the butter. I'll get a little bit of garlic in there. I don't mind. I'll get a little bit in there. If it's like in the depths of winter.
Plenty of salt.
Plenty of salt. That's a key. I'll put a little bit of pepper in there. That can divide the pack.
I'll tell you what, the mashed potato and the lasagna southern fried chicken topper.
Oh yeah, that is delicious.
Anyway,
and another tip, and this I wouldn't enter into the mayor competition, but don't be afraid of the old instant mash that you can get in the packet. That's actually quite tasty.
Shut up.
No, everyone has this response. Have you ever tried it?
No,
exactly. This is the thing. It does.
It's like powdered milk.
Yeah, it is. Honestly, trust me, try it. It'll change your life.
Okay.
It'll change your life. Obviously, it's not. I reckon it's about 90% as good for a 10% of the work.
Can you snort it?
You could. Anything's a dildo if you're brave enough. I don't think that should be part of the mayoralty race, though.
Snorting mashed potatoes.
Mashed potatoes. No, I think that it should be. I think mashed potatoes should be part of it. I think a roasted potato, that's hard to get right.
Scalloped?
A scalloped, delicious.
Yeah.
So maybe you go mashed, scalloped, roasted, and the piece de resistance, the spud cannon at the end. And this is a test of your ability to create a spud cannon. Yeah.
Your commitment to the spud as well.
Yeah.
Your overall commitment to the spud if you want to be mayor of Puki.
Yeah.
Obviously you can't be now, they're part of the super city, so we've encompassed all of them.
Yeah, but I think that everyone that lived in the super city would vote to annex them if we got this.
So what happened though? The last mayor of Puki sounds like a book,
a documentary.
The last mayor of Puki. Did that person get to keep the mayoral chains? Like and go, yeah, sweet, I was the last one. There's going to be another one. I've got the chains at home now.
No one would have come looking for them.
Nah,
surely.
The super city saying, I got the robe. I got the humiliating chains they wear.
Yeah,
great dress up.
Surely.
Yeah.
Oh, whenever you're around there having a few beers at the
everyone's
last
getting them on.
Yeah, everyone's getting them on. Another caller here. Yours, please.
Yeah, boys, Logan the Bogan here, representing from the county's Manukau region.
Another one.
I'd love to put my hand up for the Chiefs Mana in the Super Rugby boat race. I believe I'm more of a motor man, just, somewhere in the middle, young, dumb, full of cum, not as experienced as some of these Waikato veterans. And much love, kiss, kiss, bye-bye.
Right, look, he's honest.
Yep.
He almost got on, just verging on your dating there with, just describing himself.
Yeah, virile.
Very virile.
So this came off the back of us talking about potentially doing a Super Rugby combine. Then we were like, maybe it would have to be the fans. who would win in a one-on-one boat race between all the Super Rugby fan bases, and he's put his hand up as Waikato representative
for the Chiefs mana.
Yep.
No cookie monstering, by the way. It sounds like he said he was quite keen.
He's keen and he wants to go in the middle.
Yes, no cookie monstering, because you know what? When I say cookie monstering, everyone knows a cookie monster. It's when they're doing a sculling race, and like the cookie monster, when he's eating cookies, nothing goes in his mouth; it just goes around him. Matt Heath is one of the biggest cookie monsters you'll ever see. He basically opens his mouth and just tips everything onto his face and down his front.
Yeah.
So it's a bold move, but in some realms they accept that as a skull.
Yeah.
Not on my watch.
No, I guess it's where do you draw the line, because on the one hand, yes, it is self-sacrifice for the benefit of your team. On the other hand, by definition, you are not sculling that.
No.
So, and it's one of the most apt descriptions as well, because it looks like, when, Cookie Monster doesn't actually have an esophagus.
No.
Or throat of any sort. So cookie just hits the back of the throat, comes back out. That's what's happening when someone's cookie monstering, is they take the first gulp, they can't open the throat again. No. And so at that point, they're pouring it at the back of the old sock puppet, and it's all coming back out again. So, yeah, this will be a heavily adjudicated boat race, yes. I think. But thank you for putting your hand up, and great self-awareness to know that there'll be better anchors and finishers out there in the Waikato. I think you need that kind of presence of mind. So if anyone else from anywhere, from one of the other 5 Super Rugby franchises want to put their hands up, please do. Another caller here. Yours, please.
Yeah, g'day fellas. Hey, pretty hard topic to talk about this one, but I'd just like to reach out to G Lane. Feels like you're struggling a bit here, mate. Really feels like the boomers are getting to you. Every time that word is mentioned around you, you really pike up. But just like a few words of advice, mate. Just don't let them get to you.
Thanks, mate.
The problem will sort themselves out. They have an expiry date. Bless. Love you, babe.
Thank you. I needed that. That's probably in reference to the whole stadium debate and the fact that, there is a generation that have far too much time on their hands to complain about stuff and stop stuff happening. So, thank you. They do have an expiry date. We've all got an expiry date. Their one's just coming up a bit quicker than everyone else's.
Not soon enough. It's Thank you for that. This is great. I mean, often I like to think of the voicemail as an opportunity for us to give advice to other people, but when it's turned back on us, very grateful for that.
Yeah.
Could always do with a bit more of that. Another caller here. Yours, please.
G'day lads, just calling about what you got to do to become a mayor. Surely in South Canterbury it's something to do with boning your sister, and in the Taranaki region it's something to do with boning some sheep. Cheers lads.
Wow, Taranaki copped a stray there, didn't they? I mean, like, Taranaki's more known for dairy rather than your sheep. I mean, I would have targeted maybe the King Country or Tikawiti, around that area, kind of Tamananui, rather than Taranaki. But anyway, but I'll let you respond on behalf of South Canterbury.
Look, I don't know why this is just devolved to just a shit on South Canterbury line.
I know. It's been happening. I definitely know. Anyway, carry on.
It's been happening for about a year now. Look, so wait, you'd have to bone your sister to become the mayor of South Canterbury? I don't think that we can encourage that or endorse that.
No.
As far as boning lambs, I've boned my fair share of lamb.
You have.
In my life, so I'd take the Pepsi challenge with Taranaki. Maybe I need to move there.
Yeah.
And try my luck there, as opposed to the other way around. Yeah, shout out to you. That was very creative. But again, when you're competing with Pukekohe and we're making spud guns and stuff,
and scallop potatoes,
and what you're asking to happen down on the southern end of the Canterbury Plains, I just can't abide by it. So I think it's best we move on. Another caller here, yours please. Hopefully a bit cleaner.
G'day. Not to be weird or anything, but would an animal bukkake mean more than one animal doing the business? You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do. And this is in reference to the horse breeding. Look, our listeners, great with detail. Okay, we got called up on some numbers, and technically, yes, equine bukkake would have to involve more than one horse.
Right.
Technically. So So, yes, the caller is right. I described it as a bukkake, and in fact would have been one stallion involved. But,
yeah, whereas I think by definition, and I will Google it on the company internet as well, I think it's actually come from, I believe it's a Japanese word which roughly translates to splash with liquid.
Oh, okay. So technically we were right. But it's kind of colloquial, it's usually involved more than one.
Yeah, although the Urban Dictionary does state that there's usually one recipient, usually of the female variety, and at least 3 or more donors. So I think by Urban Dictionary, we're looking at 3 or more. But I think that just becomes a logistical nightmare in a stable. You got 3 stallions in there, it's just going to be a problem. Yeah. It's going to be a problem. Keeping them on track.
Yeah, especially, and that poor chode pony would, like you described, it'd be covered in Spider-Man type matter.
Up. We got one more, yours please. One last chance to round this out on a positive note.
Come on, keep it clean.
They can't start charging us more for bloody bags on planes.
Hey, here we go.
They need to do the American Samoa Airlines approach, like they did a few years ago, where they charge you per kilo, person and bags included, and then per kilo weight for everything. Because if I'm sitting next to some 130 kilo bastard and I'm sitting here at a fucking 75 kilos, that's not bloody fair if I'm getting charged for having a bloody kilo extra in my bag.
You love this. You love this discussion, don't you? But I mean, my only argument to that is, would we then have to move into BMI? Because that 140 kg guy might be 6'6" and ripped.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And he's all sinewy 75. That's not his fault. He's ripped. But if you come in at 150 kg and you're a sloppy 5'10".
Yeah, no, I think it's cumulative weight, because the issue, if you let big aircraft tell you, is that it's too heavy to lift, which is like, I don't buy that.
Fuel. It's fuel.
It's fuel, yeah, right, but it's fuel because
it costs them more.
Yeah,
they have to put more fuel in it, and it'll burn more fuel, cost more.
So then, by that take, I would say you probably should be charging by collective weight for everything that you're bringing on the plane. So it's like if you weigh 60 kilos. You've got a 10 kilo dog you want to bring on and another 10 kilo bag. You pay for an 80 kilo thing. The only problem with that is, as a man north of 100 kilos, I just can't stand for this kind of fat shaming, and I don't think it's where the country needs to be headed in this economy. I don't think that people should be punished for having heavier bones than others.
Yeah, right.
So I can't abide by it. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, I think it has to be weight, and I'm against it. So
here we go. Well, hey, we've had a bit of feedback via the Yours Please and via DM around our Ultra pre-game down in Dunedin.
Yes.
Before the All Blacks play England in early July. I think it's in July the 5th or 6th. The 6th down there. We do pre-games, Ultra pre-games all around the country. Basically 3 or 4 hours before the game, we have drink specials. Very good drink specials.
Very good drink specials.
Bit of entertainment, and then we all go to the game together. In Dunedin, we've struggled a little bit with finding a location. Obviously, it's Speightstown, and we're Export Ultra.
But also, they've shut all the student bars.
Yeah, they have too. So we're struggling for a location. So we've gone to the phones, and we've had a lot of suggestions. Someone suggested Gardy's is now a library.
It's a library.
Yeah, the university bought that, shut it down and built a library on it.
Yep. Someone suggested the Captain Cook.
Yes, it's got a Hell Pizza in it.
It's got a pizza shop downstairs. Yeah, I'd have to go and check, because I think part of it's still intact.
The bowler has been suggested. I don't know what state's that in. It's definitely not open.
That was pre my time. I think that may have even been some sort of university thing then.
The Oriental got suggested, which in my day was called the Ori. In your day was Starters.
Yes, yeah.
So that I know that still exists. That's still there.
I think that's shut as well.
Is it shut though?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, keep the suggestions coming in, because we need a location, and if we have to put a defibrillator on an old location and restart it, we're willing to do that for a couple of nights only and turn it into an Export Ultra beer garden, have our pre-games there, probably make a weekend of it, do a Friday, Saturday.
Yeah.
So keep them coming in.
So we can bring back a dead bar.
Well, I mean, the Captain Cook is still there. I mean, things like Gardy's is gone. It's impossible. But if the physical structure is still there, I don't see why we can't just roll in with a couple of pallets of Export Ultra and a food truck and just go for it.
Frankenstein it back together.
Yeah, totally. Well, Starters is still there, like the Ori, potentially the Captain Cook. Let us know.
Refuel, which was the student bar when I was there. It's on campus.
Yeah.
Maybe that. I don't even know if that's still open either.
And look, even if they aren't open, we can go and just rip it a new one for 2 days and then no harm, no foul.
Brilliant.
Yeah, so keep the suggestions coming through. Maybe you might have to go down there and maybe check it out. Find one.
Happy to.
Okay, well, there we go. That's probably a better way of doing it.
Yeah.
Because, we sit up here in our ivory tower and someone else gets... I'd see the Big Show had a big day there yesterday in Dunedin.
Handled it like champs too.
Absolutely.
Jeez, they look cold. Didn't complain about it once.
Not at all.
Backbone.
Not at all.
All right, that'll do us for today. We'll be back tomorrow for a Friday episode of the Agenda podcast, as well as the ACC Sportsbook. So we'll see you then.
You've been listening to the ACC's Agenda podcast, brought to you by Export Ultra. For more episodes, like and follow on iHeartRadio or wherever you get your podcasts.